So, good day, everyone, and welcome to our live webinar, Reinvent Business in the Cloud. This webinar is brought to you by TechOne Global and Microsoft. I am Mimi Navarro, your sessions host. The ability for employees to work from anywhere and still be able to communicate and collaborate remains critical around the world. A recent survey showed 80% of customers intend to accelerate their digital transformation, and 60% indicate security and compliance budgets have gone up to better defend customers' infrastructures in these remote or hybrid work scenarios. The numbers just show how digital transformation and security are directly correlated to the aim for success. With this, organizations are seeing the more in depth importance of reinventing their business in the cloud. So, how can you make use of the cloud to achieve your business goals? Thank you for joining us today in this insightful session with our speaker from Microsoft to guide you on how to move your apps to the cloud, improve cybersecurity, and save costs with Microsoft Azure. Before we officially start, we also love to hear from you. So if you have questions about our speaker, we encourage you to place them in our chat room and we will address that during the Q&A. Now let me introduce to you our speaker. Anne is a strategic leader for the Azure business in the Philippines, covering both the intelligent cloud apps and infra, data and AI solutions area, with end-to-end accountability for the Azure business, including strategy, planning, execution, advocacy governance, learning, and go-to-market plans for the subsidiary. She had been in the telco IT industry for 13 years and led the team that manages or handled conglomerates and gaming companies and had been an advocate of cloud and digital transformation. Here's Ms. Barbra Ann Garcia, Azure Business Group Lead of Microsoft Philippines. Ms. Ann?
Hi, good afternoon, Mimi, and good afternoon, everyone. So, let me just quickly share my screen and let me know if you can already see it. So, again, good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to be here today to talk about Microsoft Azure. So, I'm Ann Garcia, Azure Business Group Lead at Microsoft Philippines. So, in every industry around the world, the past year has seen organizations adjust to challenges, pursue new business opportunities, and accelerate their digital capabilities in the face of the pandemic that has actually reshaped the world. Disruption demands the capacity to turn challenge into an opportunity. In today's world, this capacity is built on a strong digital foundation. We have heard it over and over. Organizations that had already begun their digital transformation journey felt better equipped to actually respond to rapid and unpredictable change. They were prepared with the tools and the platforms to shift to remote work, recalibrate supply chains for changing demands and ways. Now, many of these organizations are thriving and adapting faster than ever. Early investment in a strong digital foundation made the difference for organizations to be able to weather the storm. But the landscape is continuing to change all of us. And it has become clear that business as usual will not be part of the new norm. Those early investments are not enough to keep up in the world that has not finished evolving. So there's no going back to the level of digital adoption we saw before the pandemic. What we used to call digital transformation has now become digital acceleration. But over the past year, our priorities have also shifted. Everyone on this earth is connected to each other, a fact that is undisputable after the event of the recent past. So, together, we have faced heartbreak and tragedy, joy and laughter, and ultimately, we begin to emerge with a sense of optimism. Today, individuals and organizations alike have become more conscious of our place as part of the global community. We're more aware of our actions that contributes to that community. And the majority of the organizations, actually 70%, 76% of them, in fact, now realize they have the responsibility to play a constructive role in the society. So it's no surprise that corporate social responsibility has become a top priority for business leaders in every industry. So, this is an exceptional moment in history. And over the past several months, we have all been put to the test. The biggest learning is that no business is immune to crisis, and no organization is actually 100% resilient. But it has also taught us that digital businesses and those fortified with some digital capabilities have been able to pivot more rapidly and respond to their customers' needs. Recent times have shown us that having a greater purpose is critical for an organization to persevere and then reimagine the future of the world around them. A strong sense of purpose can keep an organization moving forward, even in the midst of disruption and constant change. So, as people, as teams, and as an ecosystem, we are all working harder than ever um, in this already relentless baseline. The word purpose um, has become even more meaningful. What do we offer to each other, to our communities, and to the world around us? How are we making a difference in the world? Even as every industry is actually being reshaped, every successful company will contemplate its purpose. Purpose driven digital aligns technology innovation with an organization's capabilities to drive businesses and societal outcomes. So, purpose is what fuels us, all human beings. This means lasting and prevailing business outcomes will be purpose driven. But if one thing is certain, it is that technology is at the center of how these companies look at surviving and thriving in this world. As we've continued to partner with organizations in every industry over the past months and years, it's clear that the need to transform is only accelerating, and organizations who haven't already invested in digital transformation are really working to catch up. Now, remember that digital transformation is never a one size fits all scenario. But if you think about its journey with incremental steps towards a long term goal, it becomes much less daunting proposition. So organizations who have actually embraced digital transformation have reaped the benefits. They have become more agile. They were able to market their products faster. They have increased efficiencies. And lastly, they have reduced their cost. So now you might be thinking, why Azure? How should we think about digital transformation and Azure together? I'm going to walk you through three companies who have embraced digital transformation and Azure to better improve their organization. The first story is about a company who is hiring more developers than Google and Facebook. They're number three in the top 21 Bay Area companies seeking tech talent. Their officers are described as open, slick, and minimalist. So, um, actually, they have um, Adobe, but it's sorry, it's not Adobe, it's not Salesforce, but it's in fact Walmart. So I love this story because it shows that large company like Walmart who embrace the digital transformation to empower their employees and truly meet their needs. This next customer is a small Japanese restaurant that was passed down three generations. So they are doing custom machine learning. A server in this restaurant taught herself machine learning and is building custom AI models to better serve their customer. The beauty of this story is that anyone can use our capabilities and services to innovate. So that's Ibiya. Now, these let's go to the third story. So the third story focuses on manufacturing, which is an area we haven't traditionally served well. So meet Chelsea. She has a high school diploma, works minimum wage, and a single mom. She doesn't have technical background, but she works at the frontliners of at Packer outfitting sleeper cubs using step-by-step instruction through HoloLens. So not only has Packer found efficiencies in training their frontline workers, but they are able to empower their employees like Chelsea through cutting edge technology like HoloLens. So this story is an example of what makes special. I mean, what Azure makes special, right? So when you think why Azure, it's because we have the ability to enable anyone of all backgrounds and any company to do more and achieve more. And ultimately, invent with purpose. And that's a statement around how we feel about Azure. We want to invent with purpose in how we think about it, how we deliver to you, but also enable you to invent with purpose. And we do that in some key ways. So I will talk to you about these ways as like a promise to you on what Azure will always deliver and why we will help you. First, we're going to make sure we have the technology that's meeting your needs today, but also tomorrow. The cloud is moving fast. Every week, a new technology is actually coming out. So it's about meeting new capabilities now and investing in those on the horizon from, let's say, IoT to AI to quantum computing. So ultimately, from a developer perspective, it's about being able to build on your own terms with the frameworks, the tools, the OSs that you want to ensure you have the freedom and the flexibility to be able to work successfully and be able to deploy your applications and with quality and confidence every time. Technology is actually sitting in the public cloud, sitting in the data center, sitting on the edge devices, and all running in a holistic way in a seamless environment. That seamless environment is actually essential. Otherwise, running that way is going to be expensive and hard and insecure. And then last, of course, is trust. Nothing is more important than trust, particularly when you're talking about the cloud. It's about security. So we are spending $1 billion year on year on cybersecurity, and we have 3,500 cybersecurity engineers who are constantly monitoring your data and threats. Then, of course, there's compliance. We've said we have the highest number of compliance certification around the world, and that is not easy. But that's because we have invested ahead of the curve. And we will continue to because that is a place of great pride, and we have responsibility in the industry to serve that type of role. And then ultimately, it's about how we do business, and we get the question: Are you going to compete with me? This may be something that will come to your mind or that you are thinking right now, and the answer is no. We are very clear. We are a technology provider, a technology company. We are a platform provider. We want to empower you as our customer to innovate. We're not interested in going into your business. We're interested in supporting your business. That is the core of what we've done, and we've doubled down on the effort as we move forward. So those are the promises that you have as far as Azure can offer. With that, we feel fortunate to have over more than 95% of Fortune 500 companies inventing with Azure. And then they are all industries, as you can see here, from retail to automotive to airlines, all doing really meaningful things. And currently, we have the most number of cloud regions globally. So why Azure? Because Azure has the most number of Azure regions and availability zones, meaning you can replicate um, your VMs to another region of choice. Now, if you haven't looked at Azure in a few months, you may be surprised to see what we have these days. So this is a high level map of class of services that we offer. We have well over 200 products and services. And you'll notice we have extended to the edge, the ability to run application code in the cloud, but also in the seamless, consistent way. And the edge is informing our edge investments, whether it would be Azure Stack, Azure Sphere, all the way to the HoloLens, and our mixed reality capabilities. These are powerful edge devices that work in connection with the cloud. So you'll see we also have developer tools, so DevOps and great innovation to the core infrastructure and PaaS services that we can offer. So overall, this gives you the scope of what Azure as a platform and a service can do for you. Now, you might be thinking of all these capabilities and services. How should I think about them when it comes to my business? I want to share a typical path our customers would take when moving to the cloud. So first step is, of course, migration. The common practice that we see from our customers is first migrating their workloads from on-premises to the cloud, or what we call lift and shift motion. So, and then given the current times, cloud adoption can really help you, our customers, realize benefits such as agility, security, and agility within your organization. Now, next is innovate. So the next is around innovating and building modernization, or building or modernizing your applications on a PaaS platform. So this is where you could use your containers to provide better efficiencies and speed compared to VMs. Now, as you move into the PaaS platform, you not only become more efficient, but you can innovate faster and deploy our or your products faster to the market. So we have a variety actually of our solutions for the PaaS platform, but what truly differentiates us is through our Power Apps service. So this provides a self-service option to build apps and no code with no code. So which means enabling anyone to build applications on their own term. So again, we meet you where you are. So Azure can help you innovate today, tomorrow, and in the future. So we are constantly evolving our products and services to help meet your future needs. So, given the pace of innovation, we look forward to ensure we're investing in the technology that meets your needs. So, for future investment, we think about features, capabilities that should become available. So, let's say we think quantum. Today, we offer quantum services ranging from pre-built solution to software and quantum hardware that provides developers and customers access to some of the most competitive quantum offerings. If we look to the future, customers like you will be able to swipe a credit card for quantum services. We're constantly partnering with engineering to push the technology envelope so we can get you there in the future. If you look at Horizon 2, you'll see AI and mixed reality capabilities. Today, we offer many features and capabilities across AI, but we are always striving to build more in the future. So from machine learning, knowledge mining, apps, agents, and HoloLens capabilities, we're constantly working to advance technology. So we build services that meets your needs today and in the future. So, lastly, let's talk about Horizon One. So, we've evolved products and services like IoT to become available sooner and faster based on the customer needs. So, today we invest 5 billion in IoT to add new services and features to customers like you based on your need and the phase of the pace of innovation. So, as we look at these horizons, we look at them in cycles. At Horizon 1, we've seen that customer demand increases. So we've invested in engineering and sales to ensure we're building the product services of what else of the or the products and services that you may need. So we also ensure that we have the right sales and marketing folks who are able to share it with you. At Horizon 2, we're starting to we're starting to do an investment cycle, and then Horizon 3 we see that it's coming, and we plan for it. So as I mentioned before, the cloud is moving fast and the pace of innovation continues to increase, so we're constantly staying ahead of the curve to ensure we're meeting your needs today, tomorrow, and in the future. So, as I've said, the cloud is moving fast. Over the past year, we have launched over 1,000 plus capabilities across AI to blockchain to Kubernetes to containers and databases and more to ensure we're keeping you ahead of the curve. I'd like to actually highlight a few things on this slide. So, number one, Azure offers purpose built infrastructures to allow you to customize your infrastructure based on your specific workload needs. So, regardless of whether you are managing on prem, hybrid, or cloud infrastructure or cloud only setup. So, we are differentiated from our competitors by offering a first class experience that has been recognized by partner certifications such as SAP and Red Hat. So let's talk about scale. We are global with support for 66 Azure regions and 150 VM size options. Given Microsoft makes Windows servers, there is no better place to run Windows platforms than on Windows Server. They were quite literally made for each other. But we don't stop at Windows. 50% of Azure VMs are running on Linux. And which is why Microsoft has established relationship with big Linux providers. So in fact, Microsoft is doing something the industry has never seen before. We've developed an integrated support model with Red Hat, supporting Red Hat to support your team. So lastly, we have partnership with SAP, VMware, and Oracle that allows us to migrate all of your data center. Our goal is to enable your mission critical workloads in Azure, so you can have the best of both worlds. To support your apps and infrastructure, we have a breadth of data and analytic solutions. We offer a broad set of data services that can help store your data or distribute it based on your needs. So from our relational database like SQL database, you can run it on VM, so that's infra, or you can get SQL DB managed instance, so or PostgreSQL to our non-relational database like Cosmos DB. Now, we've taken in the industry leading data warehouse to a whole new level of performance and capabilities by bringing together data warehouse and big data. Now, we've talked about data and analytics. I want to walk you through our serverless capabilities. So, these services enable you to adapt containerized serverless based computing architectures for new applications. So as well as modernizing existing applications you already have. So with Azure, your developers can build cloud native applications using canonical modern application patterns. The growing requirements of our modern digital business world can be a challenge for older applications. So, but there is a way. There is a way to future proof existing applications. So, by moving them to the cloud, Azure supports and provides all the building blocks that your developer teams need to build application using containers, managed databases, artificial intelligence, as serverless capabilities. So we've actually created the broadest of Azure serverless compute solutions. Not only do we have that 1,000 plus capabilities that we've launched in the past year, but we've actually deployed 1,000 plus supported IoT services as well. We designed this Azure IoT portfolio in a layered fashion or on purpose. Actually, it means you can engage the portfolio on purpose where it makes sense actually. So, for example, you can start off with infrastructure and move up and leverage things like time series, insights, or the PaaS layer, or you can go into fully managed SaaS services. And the cool thing is, if you are in a SaaS solution, or if you have that SaaS solution and you need to drop down the to the PaaS mode and add more or add more or compute, add AI of your own, and you can absolutely do that. No rewrite your asset or no rewriting your asset. So we have finally released enterprise ready industry solutions as well. Our second promise is around building on your own terms. From a developer perspective, we want to provide the flexibility needed to deploy apps on the frameworks, OSS, and tools you want with quality every time. You have choices with a commitment to open source and support for all languages and frameworks to build and deploy how and where you want. So your language, your tool, your app. So we want you to be able to build, debug, deploy, and manage applications with the language or platform of your choice. When we say build on your own terms, we think about accelerating developer velocity, which means focusing on helping developers build productively, enabling secure collaboration, within the team, the organization, and a broader global community of developers. So, scaling your innovation by helping developers empower your entire organization to participate in the digital value generation. So, we see this through software development continues to evolve, and Microsoft has been there for a long time, enabling developers first. Developers are in our DNA and top of mind since the earliest days of the company. We've always known that developers are the key to our success as a platform company and as a software development. It has changed over the years. So we have always supported developers building applications. Evolving developers in your organization at the pace of or at the pace that software evolves is critical to your future success. So as new frontiers open up, Microsoft will always be there. As technology rapidly evolves and change, you need to help your developer teams learn new skills and stay on top of emerging technologies such as Kubernetes, AI, DevOps, and IoT. The pace of um, Innovation is ever accelerating and making scaling easier and more accessible for developers. So that and actually that's a commitment of Microsoft to you. So one of the best ways to improve skills of your developers is to give them tools they know and they love. When it comes to building productively, there are two areas of opportunity where Microsoft can help. First, ensuring developers become and stay proficient in their domain by helping them advance their knowledge. And second, hone the right skills by giving them the right tools. So, as technology rapidly evolves and changes, you need to help your developer teams learn new skills. Um, and as I mentioned earlier, like Kubernetes, AI, IoT, and DevOps. But we're not stopping there. Software development is a constantly evolving craft, and developer tools um, that we are going to provide to you. So at Microsoft, we are deeply committed to infuse modern development practices and emerging trends into our tools. With our platform, developers have not just they don't just have the access to the latest technology, but also a cutting edge tool chain that supports the way they work. Visual Studio is one of the most productive tools out there with new features that are focused on empowering you to do more. It doesn't stop actually at Visual Studio. Last year, Microsoft completed the acquisition of GitHub. GitHub is at the heart of the open source community and will always be an open platform that supports all developers. In fact, GitHub today is the largest developer community on the planet with over 40 million developers from every country on earth. Collaboration is at the heart of GitHub. Last year, developers made over 1 billion contributions to the open source projects and private repos that are hosted on GitHub. Enterprises rely on hybrid approach to benefit from their on-premise investment and at the same time unlock the innovation of the cloud. So as more businesses expand computing to the edge, hybrid capabilities must enable apps to not only run seamlessly across on-premise services, public clouds, and edge devices, but also enable consistent management, security, and governance across all distributed locations. Now, let's look at the hybrid solution. Azure actually takes a comprehensive approach and offers unique hybrid capabilities that give customers the flexibility to innovate anywhere in their environment. Enabled by Azure Arc, you can bring Azure services to any existing infrastructure, including other clouds that you are using. So you can take advantage of cloud benefits everywhere, such as scalability, fast deployment, and always up to date cloud innovation. You can build Azure consistent new cloud infrastructure in your own data center with Azure Stack. So you can modernize your data center and run cloud native applications on premise while taking advantage of existing investments and meeting regulatory compliance. Today, you might be targeting multiple clouds already. You may have your own on-prem data center and you have edge deployment. The truth is, as business expand to the edge, you're going to need more of these types of solutions. And you might be in a case where you have multiple types of technology that you're having pulled together, which makes it even harder to ensure it is secure and managed in a consistent way. That is why we introduced Azure Arc. Our last promise is our most important one. around trust. We believe our customers should fully trust the cloud they choose to bank on for their business. We drive to provide the most secure and compliant cloud platform and privacy at the center of all the innovations. We have the most certifications in the cloud, from managing identity across these paradigms to building apps that can run across them. To highlight a few points on this slide, I've mentioned before we are global. We support 66 Azure regions around the world, fastest and most resilient global network in the public cloud. More than 160 edge sites targeting sub 30 milliseconds latency across the planet. Only the only cloud provider enabling customer to extend private connectivity to remote or hard to reach areas with express route satellite. Azure enables on-premises to on-premises connectivity across our global one with express route global reach. So I've mentioned earlier, we want you to feel protected, so we heavily invested in security. We also believe that no other cloud services provider has more experience delivering compliant cloud solutions to financial institutions. This is a sample industry that that I was mentioning earlier. So Microsoft has worked in close cooperation with BSP and financial institutions in the Philippines and has detailed understanding of the regulatory framework and process. So Microsoft recognizes that a cloud service provider needs to actively facilitate compliance through full, transparent, proactive engagement with the financial institution and on request, of course, with BSP. So through this process of collaboration over a number of years, Microsoft has developed excellent experience and a pool of practical resources to help financial institutions move to the cloud in a way that meets the highest compliance, risk, and security standards. Now, it starts with the definition of expected business outcomes and the business justification to move to the cloud. So typically, you just jump to the cloud, right? That's a typical scenario. But we want you to go through our cloud adoption framework workshop. With this framework, you're able to define your migration strategy based on your needs, plan it out, ready your organization, and implement proposed solutions, all while having the proper cloud operations practices in place. So, like governance and management are key elements in generating a cycle where constant or optimization and changes or change management is in place. So in the CAF workshop, as what we call it, they will the team will make sure that they will help you in planning your migration. We that your strategy, your objective within, let's say, IT department is aligned with um, the finance department and overall the leadership team. So all these components part of CAF workshop or cloud adoption framework. It's a guide for your journey to the cloud. So overall, what companies and businesses wanted to achieve is they're they're able to put their people first, empowering everyone to flexible work or flexibility in terms of work, learning, collaboration, and innovation from anywhere. So with accessible tools that enable the person closest to the business to solve it, they can create impact faster and increase time to value with the most complete, integrated, and open platform built on a holistic data foundation enriched with analytics and AI that enables them to shift from being reactive to proactive. And they are transforming with a partner they can trust. So, Microsoft Secure Cloud, paired with our human centric approach to innovation and world citizenship, helps them confidently grow a sustainable and reliable business. Before I end my presentation, I would like to share that we also have an ongoing investment in Microsoft Learn. It's free, global, actually it's globally available. It has over 400 Azure courses. So you get badges, milestones, learning paths, etc. So this is directly run out of our engineering team. So it's a place where you'll get the latest and greatest content. So please actually take advantage of this great readiness and give us your feedback. Some are embracing a digital transformation journey and feel excited about it. And we see organizations are reaping real, tangible rewards. The positive disruptions are truly amazing. But we also acknowledge that for some, the whole topic of digital transformation is causing tension. These are legitimate concerns about getting digital transformation right and in truth. Future success does depend on making this transition. For us, our purpose is clear. In every industry and in every country, we are committed to empowering every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Miss Anne, for that wonderful presentation. We missed you. It's been a while since we have you in our session.
Yeah, Mimi, I miss you too.
Okay, so now it's time for our Q&A. So we hope that some everyone have shared their questions in our chat room, and then Miss Anne will still be here. So if in case you also want to let's say personally ask the question to Miss Anne, you can just digitally raise your hand and we will try to unmute your mic so you can also personally throw the question to Miss Anne. But for now, Miss Anne, since I think we still don't have question in the chat, so I have some questions here prepared for some initial discussion. So, the question that we normally have typically when we're getting some inquiries in our website is, what are the major advantages of Microsoft Azure compared to its competitors?
Okay. So I think thank you, Mimi, for that question. I think I've also mentioned that in the slide that I presented earlier. So we know that we take pride being the only cloud provider that has 66 Azure regions, because some does have like 20 or 20 plus or maybe less than that. Why am I proud, and why is this a reason that Microsoft Azure has an advantage between across the competitors that we have? It's because when, let's say, when you are making sure that your environment is resilient, you we're giving you a choice or an option to, let's say, have your primary landing zone, let's say in Singapore, but then you want to have your backup to, let's say, in Japan or maybe in France or Germany. We're giving you that option to make sure that you will have a good night's sleep. That even if the disaster happens, your data can still be downloaded somewhere where you have replicated it in your backup. So that's one advantage of Microsoft. It's always resilient. We have paired regions as well. Just in case one region will go down or will have a disaster or whatever it is that's gonna happen. It's all the data there are being replicated to a paired region. So that's one of the advantage that we have. Number two would be we have the most number of compliance certification, and I think this is the number one concern of most of the companies, right? When you go when you put all your applications to the cloud, your data to the cloud, is it safe? Is it not going to be hacked by anyone? Right. So in terms of compliance, we are complying with all the necessary agencies that we need to comply. And not only that, we are heavy on security. In fact, as I mentioned, we are investing $1 billion year on year, and we have currently 3,500 cybersecurity engineers that actually monitors all your data to ensure that everything is safe. So those are the top three that I can share with you, but there's a lot more. Microsoft is an end-to-end solution company, not just a cloud provider. I mean, from productivity, from Teams, right, to Teams calling, to having that cloud services, to AI, to HoloLens. So it's really an end-to-end solution company. So that's basically four, but that's more in terms of solution.
Okay, Miss Anne, thank you for
Thank you.
that. And then I think we have a question in the chat. So, will there be a comprehensive introductory seminar on how to use Microsoft Azure as a web developer or as a technical person?
Oh, hi, John. In fact, we have Microsoft Build on Friday,
Mm.
where we will showcase the developer tool. So this is really Microsoft-led event. So I will share with Mimi the invite so that Mimi can share with you. So we have training. So we have self-paced training in MS Learn. You can find all the trainings that that you will need. In fact, if you are part of of course, you belong to an organization. We also do enterprise skills initiative for customers to enhance really their technical skills, be it be on the developer side or on the technical side, that is aligning to the customer's vision or your organization's vision. So every scaling path or scaling journey that want you to embark is always aligned to the vision of your company or the vision of your vision. I mean, in the future.
Okay, according to John, thank you for the
And
answer,
John,
Miss
it's
Anne.
in one. It's in sorry. It's in plugging. It's in one Ayala. So that's on Friday, 2 to 5 p.m.
Yep, yep. So, John, if you're interested to join, we'll send you the link so you could
Yes.
register as well. Last, Miss Anne, if there will be no more question in our chat room. So, specifically here in the Philippines, there are still quite some big hesitation of moving or reinventing their business in the cloud. What could
Mm-hmm.
be, let's say, our final message to our attendees right now to
Yeah.
encourage them to consider cloud or Azure for their business?
Yeah. So thank you, Mimi. Actually, I've mentioned that we have a framework for that. No, so I know and I understand there's always a hesitation for migrating into the cloud, and we don't want you to just jump to the cloud without really understanding the objective of the entire organization. Right? It has to be aligned with everyone from HR to finance to engineering. All of you should be aligned, and the leaders is also the sponsor of this objective of yours. So we're doing a CAF workshop specifically for you to that's the cloud adoption framework that we want you to undergo. It's a workshop wherein we will identify all the, let's say, in terms of planning, what are the drivers, what are the key drivers for this objective of us migrating to let's say Azure or to any other cloud provider. So we have to know, is it aligned to the vision of finance? Is it aligned to the vision of HR? What will be the potential outcome of this migration to the cloud. Of course, when you have when you're able to identify the key drivers of why you want to migrate to the cloud, you will also have that vision of what could be the potential outcome, right? So if you have that in place, that's why we want you to go through the cloud adoption framework that we have, and we also have that in our MS Learn. So at least because I myself I'm with Microsoft, but I don't want you to just jump to the cloud without really understanding the basics of the cloud and aligning to the vision of your organization. Thank
Oh,
you, me.
okay. So thanks, Miss Anne. So I think we don't have any further questions in our chat room. Although from who's this? From Isagani, is the registration for free for the training? Yes, it's free for registration. So we will
Yes,
just
yes,
again,
yes.
yep, send the link to you. So if you want to register, so just register the soonest.
Hmm.
And then since you'll be part of our database also, you will be receiving regular updates for events and also campaigns that we're having with Microsoft.
Yep.
So if that's the case, due to our limited time, we just answered a few questions. And if case you still have additional questions to our speaker, we can answer that via email. So once again, thank you so much to our speaker, Miss Anne, and reinvent business in the cloud. So schedule a free business consultation now by sending us an email at Aliana and at Aliana at tech1global.com. So once again, we look forward to seeing you in our subsequent events. Stay safe, stay healthy, everyone. Once again, I'm Mimi Navarro. Have a good day. Thanks, Miss Anne.
Thank you. See you at Build tomorrow.
Thank you.